winnable battles that Coach Rockwell wants to have them ready for.
This is a former Big East battle, the 51st all-time meeting between Louisville and Notre Dame. The Cardinals leading that series, and Notre Dame without a win in the series since 2020. And that 51st meeting is underway with a point from who else? Hannah Sherman, the reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Week. And Camden Trand will serve for Louisville. Back-to-back points for the Cardinals here in the friendly confines of the Center. This time it's a block on the left side. Kara Cressy and Peyton Peterson going up for that one. These are two very good blocking teams, by the way. Top 4 in the league, both of them. Louisville has made that their hallmark in this current era of success that they're enjoying as a program. And it was a good blocking battle on Wednesday night in South Bend as well. Another point goes Louisville's way, and the Cardinals clicking early here, Steph Cantway.
Crafty shot from Peyton Peterson on the outside. She went sharp cross, but took a little speed off of it to try to make Helmers play the ball. That could be also part of a scouting report. Notre Dame can tend to get very offensive with their outside left side hitters, so look for Louisville's offense to try to make those left side hitters of Notre Dame play defense first before they can be offensive weapons.
Peyton Peterson, who you saw there, 7 kills on Wednesday night. Another block for Louisville. Kara Cressy and Calissa Blackshear as Nialise Cabello came crashing into them after the play was over. But this is what Louisville does best.
Blackshear able to reach back into the seam and block.
Timeout on the floor. Louisville ahead 5-0. Notre Dame calling the timeout. We'll take it as well. Leaping in for the celebration. Kind of rolled that left ankle a little bit, but she adjusted the footwear during the timeout, and she's back out there, Steph.
You never want to get hurt celebrating. She is a dynamic celebrator there for her teammates, but it was a little scary to see her limp off to the timeout.
You love the emotional leadership aspect of that, celebrating her teammates, but again, she appears to be okay, is going to gut this one out right now. And Louisville ahead a touchdown, looking for the extra point, and they have it through Calissa Blackshear. The Cardinals red hot early.
And great off-system set here from Chloe Chicoine. You see Cabello intentionally bring the ball to Chicoine in left back, who's playing kind of that libero position when she's in the back and is able to set Blackshear. Another block from the Louisville defense.
And this time it's Peyton Peterson, and already the 3rd block for Louisville in the early going. This team is stamping its hallmark traits on this opening set, blocking. Here's Blackshear scoring once again, and Louisville can do no wrong. 9-0 Cardinals.
And one of the advantages of Chicoine being that one in left back, typically for most teams, it's the libero in left back taking that second ball. But for Louisville, it's Chicoine, but she doesn't have to worry about the 10-foot line when she comes in to set those off-system balls.
Louisville a little out of sorts there, but Peterson able to react. Maybe an opportunity for Notre Dame to get on the scoreboard. No, says Peyton Peterson.
You can see the Notre Dame hitters trying not to challenge the Louisville middles of Kara Cressy and Hannah Sherman on that block, but Blackshear and Peterson are holding it down at the pins for the Louisville defense.
An overpass that Blackshear pounces on. And it's getting out of hand early in the Center. Already the 2nd timeout for Notre Dame, and number 8 Louisville.
4 of them coming from blocks.
Yeah, Notre Dame with 8 blocks on Wednesday night. But they need something positive here to stem the tide and give themselves any kind of foothold on the road. Louisville goes to Blackshear. And this time Notre Dame gets on the scoreboard with Lucy Trump off the high hands of the Cardinals. Trump, a senior from Kentucky, Ryle High School in northern Kentucky, Florence, her hometown.
She's been a versatile player for the Irish this year, able to come in as a serving specialist and also help outside and right side as needed.
But Blackshear gets that point back in serve. She had an ace on Wednesday night. Out of the back row, there's Morgan Gardy, the all-ACC performer, to score for Notre Dame.
And you see Gardy just rotating to the front row. She only started one rotation out of the front row. However, I don't think the game plan was for Louisville to have 12 points on the board by the time she got to the front row.
Gardy's been prolific this season and starting to warm up here in the first set to give Notre Dame a better score line as Louisville roared out to that 11-0 lead. But Gardy's the weapon for them that everyone will need to keep their eye on in Louisville red and black.
And you see the great high swing there in the replay.
Kara Cressy. That was clean for the All-American middle blocker.
This is a fast slide from Louisville. Sometimes we see a higher ball, but this ball is left inside enough for Cressy still to be able to go line around the block.
Cressy with the big impact on Wednesday night, including the last two plays to finish off Notre Dame. And the Irish with another point here.
And I love Notre Dame being able to find offense out of the middle. That was Bjork just able to throw down a quick tip. They need that tempo and offensive firepower from their middles.
Anna Bjork, the sophomore from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. There's Chloe Chicoine for Louisville.
Good hustle from Helmers to bring that ball back into play.
Chicoine again with the opportunity. This time not a full swing, just got behind the ball and steered it over the Notre Dame block to score.
Good save here from Chicoine. This ball goes a little bit past her head. You can see her have to lean to the left, but she keeps that ball high and finds the middle of the court.
Chicoine, that double-double on Wednesday to lead Louisville as Molly Urban comes in to serve here for the Cardinals. And a big swing from the right side for Notre Dame.
Chichi Naji hammered that ball line. You see Dan Meskey and Parker Mitchich watching the replay up there to see if that ball was in, because it was hit hard and fast.
Chichi Naji, a talented freshman who hit negative numbers on Wednesday night. 2 kills on 10 swings with 3 errors. Certainly capable of making a bigger impact than that. And she will hope to do so this afternoon. Chloe Chicoine up high for Louisville there once again, and the Cardinals have a 10-point lead in the opening set. And now Cabello, who's showing no wear and tear from that potential ankle injury that we highlighted a moment ago, is back to serve for Louisville. And before Chicoine could get up for that one, the whistle goes Louisville's way, and it's another Louisville point.
It was a good, tight set there. That's exactly what Notre Dame meant to do, but Lucy Trump wasn't able to save the ball without going under the net.
There's Gardy with a swing. Blackshear crashing into the table to keep it alive, and effectively so, which draws a cheer from the Yum Center crowd. But Gardy able to finish that one off, and Notre Dame adds another to their tally. And if they're going to pull off this upset, number 18 is going to have a big hand in it today.
And look for them to get her going here from the back row too, even though she's going back to serve right now.
4 games this season for Morgan Gardy with 20 or more kills. Backs up that most recent kill with an ace here.
And she can be quite a weapon from the service line for Notre Dame.
She's had 10 or more kills in every game this season, 19 now, including Wednesday night when she left it very late to get that 10th kill, but managed to do it. Chicoine with the answer for Louisville here.
The tempo on that set. There is just absolutely no way that Langer can get out there and close, and Chloe Chicoine is killer against a single block.
Chloe Chicoine came to Louisville this season with a very impressive resume, one that would have led you to believe she could have been a leader for this group right out of the gate. But Dan Meskey talked about it a couple of weeks ago, that she is now starting to exhibit more of that leadership quality now that she feels more comfortable in this program. But a player that has led on the stat sheet all season long, now starting to lead in those huddles and in the locker room a bit more as well.
And we talked a lot about early in the season about the production that Louisville lost from last season and losing Elena Scott and losing Anna DeBeer. But it wasn't just the production they lost on the stat sheet. Those two had been leaders for this Louisville team for years.
Yeah, the culture that Louisville had built, the winning culture, the successful culture, certainly took a hit with some of the losses from last season's team. But the players on this year's roster, several of them new to the program, are starting to make their mark and make their impacts. That includes Camden Trand, who had big shoes to fill coming in as the starting libero this season. She's unable to get underneath that one, as Notre Dame will try and hold Louisville at bay here to close out the opening set.
And it does seem like Notre Dame's still working to find their rhythm, but they have been successful with offense off of the right side of the court. We've seen both Naji, we've seen Gardy over there, and we've seen Trump find kills off that right side.
Trump 2 for 5 with a block as well, as she takes a seat following that missed serve for the Irish. And Louisville doubling up Notre Dame and then some so far on the opening set, as Hannah Kinney, the freshman, comes back to serve once again. Off the left side was Helmers for Notre Dame. Here she is again, and this time able to score for Sydney Helmers. She'll be plenty comfortable here. She went to Assumption High School here in Louisville, which is an absolute volleyball powerhouse, transferring in from Texas to Notre Dame.
I think her family was first in line, as they were the first ones I saw walk into the building today and sit in their Notre Dame gear right behind the bench.
Had to be one of the benefits of transferring to Notre Dame, knowing that you had the opportunity to play your hometown school, but is effectively your hometown school. And a very drivable distance for Notre Dame fans to come down to Louisville and make their presence heard. Part of the reason that these two sides are travel partners in the ACC, the westernmost schools, well, it used to be the westernmost schools, now it's a bi-coastal conference.
Gardy tried to go high hands and missed long there in a scrappy rally.
Louisville hitting .500. Notre Dame hitting negatively so far. Illustrates the difference you see on the scoreboard at 22-10.
In those blocks early, we see a successful use of the block there, which is a way Notre Dame can and has scored. But those blocks early from the Louisville defense do put a little something in the other team's head, and that can really drive down that hitting percentage as the set goes on.
Chicoine showing the creativity as well as the power. We know that she can bring the hammer offensively. This time, the accuracy.
And that tip just changes the tempo of things going on. If you were to hit that ball, she would have hit it just half a second earlier. But the little delay to that kind of throw or tip shot just changes the rhythm for the block and defense.
Cabello with the left hand, showing no signs of that injury scare. She looks ready to go.
Yeah, she got up on that ball, saw that she had no block, didn't need a hitter to score.
And the Louisville crowd on their feet as the Cardinals look to close out this set comfortably. Gardy, and the point goes Louisville's way with the antenna rattling. And that'll end the opening set. Yeah, certainly plenty of opportunity to build the NCAA tournament resume week in and week out in the ACC. Louisville sitting on 2 losses in league play, 9-2 coming into this one. If they can finish off what they've started this afternoon, Notre Dame has a lot of time to say something about that. But if Louisville can finish off what they started, Louisville has the opportunity to move up in the pecking order with SMU losing last night.
And we can't have this whole conversation and not mention Miami. That is a team no one wants to play right now in conference or in the first couple rounds of the NCAA tournament.
Red hot Miami was to start the season. A couple of bumps now that they've gotten into conference play, but they've shown they have staying power as one of the real contenders in this league, and they're right on Louisville's heels with 3 losses. And Blackshear gets Louisville underway in the second set, much like she did in the first set.
Good swing from Blackshear, changing direction to go off the block of Gardy.
Blackshear leading Louisville with 5 kills so far, as she puts together an ACC Freshman of the Year kind of campaign. That's one of those storylines that has unfolded and developed as this season has gone on. Alyssa Blackshear's emergence, not only as a reliable contributor for this Louisville team as a true freshman, but a bona fide star and somebody that you can count on to have a night where she can get 20 kills and several blocks.
And in Louisville's matches last week, where she was Freshman of the Week, she also took some swings from the back row in one rotation as Louisville looks to find more offensive weapons in a couple of their serve receive rotations.
Notre Dame with back-to-back points to take a lead for the first time in this match. Louisville was out to an 11-0 start in the first and make it a 3-0 run for the Irish. This much more like it for Notre Dame, more like what they were able to do on Wednesday night and being a hard out in a sweep to this Louisville squad. Anna Bjork with the ace, and will have the opportunity for another here. And she finds it.
And I think that's all you can say as Notre Dame in the huddle after that first set was, okay, it's over. Thank goodness it's volleyball. The scoreboard's clear. We know we can battle with these guys. We just did it 3 days ago. So let's go start set 2. And they've come out with a great start.
Louisville gets one back here, but Notre Dame, that was their 3rd ace. The last one from Bjork, they had 4 on Wednesday night. It is a team that performs well in that phase of the game, and that would be part of the comeback that they hope to mount here on the road.
I think that's one of the keys. I think serving, and then I think continuing to find offense not from their outside hitters is their key.
Hannah Kinney replies in kind to the freshman with the ace. Pinpoint to the corner.
That's such an excellent serve. Cross court in that gap, the longest line across the court from 5 to 5.
And another challenging serve from Kinney gives Louisville the opportunity to set something up for Kara Cressy, who is denied. A block for Notre Dame's Grace Langer.
Langer kept up with the tempo of this slide. Louisville was given a free ball to their offense, and Langer kept going even though she was late, able to push there and get that block. That's a good note for youth middle blockers. Don't give up. She was late, but she still got that play.
But you see Dan Meskey just setting that green card down. He challenged that
Louisville's
play.
Challenging that.
And you hear the call there from Bill Thornburg that Louisville is challenging net, and an opportunity for Thornburg to take a look at the monitor and see if Dan Meskey is right, as he sees his team now with a much more difficult circumstance on their hands in the second set than they had in the first, with Notre Dame fighting and battling right now. Meskey, a native of Willow Springs, Illinois. 8 seasons under Danny Busboom Kelly as the associate head coach, during which time he was part of several hugely successful teams.
And it looks like the net was moving there in the brief
After
challenge.
review, there was a net on Notre Dame, so point Louisville.
So Meskey's challenge is successful, overturning the call, and Louisville will get the point in the end. We talk about blocks being big emotional momentum plays. The challenge doesn't quite have the same charge from the crowd, but there's something to that, taking a point away from your opponent that they thought they had earned just a moment earlier.
I definitely agree, and I think both teams, like sometimes it can spark. Notre Dame here thought that they had shut down Kara Cressy on the slide, right? And then it gets taken away from them. So they're motivated to go get that next kill, which is what we saw there. And I think sometimes the flip side, if you feel like, you know, you're kind of playing against 6 on 8, like the refs are playing against you, then you really want those challenge cards to like prove that you're right and go out there and add some spunk to your game for the night.
Gardy with that kill. And she has gotten herself going since that opening Louisville run. Morgan Gardy, 4th kill for her today, along with an ace and a block.
And for Notre Dame and Gardy, I think it's such a fine line because you know you have to get her going. But if you just set her every ball, that's not going to be the answer for winning for the night. Like we said, they have to find offense from other places, but you don't want her to go too long without getting a kill either.
She typically has not gone very long without getting a kill, averaging 4 1/3 kills per set this season, which is in the top 30 in the country and 4th in the ACC.
And you see Notre Dame here kind of playing some games in serve receive. They've struggled in serve receive, so they're bringing Gardy back, and then as that server goes to serve, they're shifting her up to the net and kind of baiting Louisville into serving the libero. We'll look for that next time they're in that rotation.
Louisville with a mistake there. The ball just falling to the floor between 2 or 3 Cardinal players. And Gardy has the opportunity to serve, but overhits that one, missed by 4 or 5 feet past the end line.
Returning to the floor for the Cardinals, number 11, Hannah Sherman. Number 17, Molly Urban to serve.
But Salima Rockwell has to be more pleased with what she's seen from her squad in this second set. They took one on the chin in the first set for sure, but they found their balance, steadied themselves, and they're right here with number 8 with a chance to take this all the way to the 25th point.
And interesting, both teams right now seem to be taking defense as the key to this game, as both Gardy and, well, we see Molly Urban playing defense for Louisville and Gardy out for the Irish, and Kaylee Dockery playing back row.
There's a look at the most recent kill from Chloe Chicoine. Chicoine right there with Blackshear among the Louisville leaders offensively so far today. 5 kills for Chicoine behind Blackshear's 6. But a point here to Notre Dame, coming from Sydney Helmers off the high hands of the Louisville defense. And Maisie Alexander, senior from Portland, Oregon, has the opportunity to serve. Chicoine this time shows that power that is her trademark and signature, hammering that one down.
She does a great job on this cross body shot. You see her approach comes inside. Everything looks like it's going cross, and she cuts back across her body to the line.
Chicoine at 5'10", a superior athlete, and able to use all of that athleticism and power on a shot like that. Notre Dame gets one back through, though. Through Helmers, is what I was trying to say.
Through the block of Blackshear and Sherman.
Look at you picking it up. Yeah. And here's Lucy Trump serving. Hannah Sherman. And now Blackshear. Helmers is denied by Sherman. There's your ACC Defensive Player of the Week doing what she does better than anybody else in the ACC.
And I think Blackshear might have actually gotten this ball with her inside hand. She did such a good job pushing back towards Sherman, who was flying in there and having her hand over the net. They both get half on the stat sheet.
Point Notre Dame.
First missed serve for Louisville today.
Number 18, Morgan Gardy.
Gardy back to the front row for Notre Dame as Helmers goes back to serve.
Sherman just missed that one.
Point Notre Dame.
Looked like a decent serve from, or a decent set rather, from Cabello to get it to Sherman, but maybe a little mistimed. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, it didn't come off Peyton Peterson's platform very clean on the serve. Notre Dame has done a good job to miss serve right there, but a good job of serving a lot tougher this set, and that can vary the tempo of the pass too and change the tempo of the offense for Louisville when that ball's coming harder and faster on the serve.
Powerfully from the middle is Bjork for Notre Dame.
Returning to the floor for the Fighting Irish, number 33, Grace Langer.
And Lily Fenton stepping in with some setting duties there with this double sub as Notre Dame deals with some injuries in the setting position, but love Fenton being able to find her middle.
Kara Cressy replies for Louisville from middle blocker to middle blocker. Bjork scoring for Notre Dame, Cressy now scoring for the Cardinals.
And we see Cressy off 1 foot a lot nowadays, being next to that setter, but in this rotation when Blackshear's still front row, Cressy able to score in front of the setter.
We talked about the Louisville culture and the leaders that they've had over the years. Well, Kara Cressy learning from those leaders, as she spoke earlier this month, last month rather, to WDRB about that aspect of her development as a player.
Good set from Helmers.
There's a leader growing before our eyes, sophomore Peyton Peterson with the kill.
And finally, maybe a long rally to get the crowd going here in the Yum Center. It's been pretty quiet, but that was a great rally from both teams.
Yeah, it's pretty full in here, all things considered. It's a great crowd for Louisville at the KFC Yum Center, but to your point, it's been a kind of muted crowd so far. It's a different environment than L&N Federal Credit Union Arena, where the fans are right on top of the action. But they come downtown a few times a year now to give more folks an opportunity to see this team in action, but they've just not quite gotten into it yet.
And Gardy knew exactly how to silence the crowd and come back with a big kill right as maybe the crowd was starting to get into it. Here she is again.
Now that'll get the crowd going. Gardy sent back by Cressy.
Peyton Peterson to serve.
Yeah, you see Cressy over and that ball goes down. Gardy's team has no chance to cover.
Just went the wrong way when it hit the tape there for Peyton Peterson. A half inch from what might have been a very challenging situation for Notre Dame defensively, but it's a missed serve and it evens the score at 14. And Gardy with that top spin, well handled by Louisville. Swing there from Cordes on the right side for Notre Dame. Out of the back row is Peyton Peterson for Louisville. And an opportunity for the Cardinals here. They go to Chacoin. Dealt with by the Irish. Gardy, that's in. And Morgan Gardy gives Notre Dame the lead. Although we were on our way to timeout, looks like Dan Meskey might be challenging this most recent play. Everybody kind of stopped in their steps on their way to the bench. And we'll get a look in a moment at what perhaps Dan Meskey saw.
Louisville is challenging net fault, and we're going to go ahead and go into the media timeout because one of the teams has 15 anyway.
Well said, Bill Thornburg, doing some direct plays at the net.
And it's actually a really good point, though. Like, sometimes it's more about body position in this, too. Like, when they're on their way down as they get the block, odds are maybe there was a little net contact in there.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. 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 2 Nancy Worley, the terrific SID for Louisville, getting a late explanation there. And after all that, it's a Louisville lead heading into the back half of the second set, with the Cardinals ahead, 1-0 over Notre Dame in this second meeting between these two teams this week. Cabello, that is alert, that is smart from the reigning ACC Center of the Week.
And such good location here from Cabello. Typically, she throws this ball straight down. You can see that the defense of Notre Dame was covering that middle of the court, so Cabello threw it to the sideline.
Hit it where they ain't, is what I would say.
I love it.
I am no expert by any stretch, but hit it where they ain't.
Make the ball hit the floor, right?
Cordes there with the attack error for Notre Dame, and Louisville's opened up a 3-point lead.
And Cordes, an offensive weapon, being subbed into the game here.
Here she is again.
For the Irish.
Good reactions on both sides. And Molly Urban just has to go over her head to get it across. Helmers off the high hands.
Returning to the floor for the Fighting Irish, number 31.
Sydney Helmers leading the way for Notre Dame.
And good touch from the Louisville block. You see Notre Dame there, free ball offense, 3 hitters. We just talked about Cordes being subbed in there on the right side to give them a few more options and a little bit more spread.
6 kills on 15 swings for Helmers to lead the Fighting Irish. Point here to Notre Dame on that attack error from Hannah Sherman, who jumped out of the gate on this one as Louisville did as a team, but has been quiet ever since those opening moments of the first set.
And we see Blackshear here in the back row for one rotation for Louisville as a weapon, trying to open things up for Chicoine on the outside.
Here it is to Chicoine. Notre Dame reacts. There's Blackshear with the bump. Chicoine with the swing and the kill. But that's, you talked about it earlier, an area of growth for Calissa Blackshear, and also this team adding another weapon to the floor, a player that can score effectively.
When you see exactly what it did, it kept Bjork worried about that as a potential option to her left. Chloe Chicoine is to her right, and it just gave, the ball was going to Chicoine, but it gave Bjork that little bit of hesitation, which opened up a little bit of a seam for Chicoine.
Helmers knocks back straight to her, and Notre Dame reacts really well. Here's Chicoine. Sherman went up for it. Another great reaction from Notre Dame. Blackshear. Now a chance for the Irish. They go to Bjork in the middle. Helmers. Sherman just trying to keep it alive, and Schran diving, couldn't get there, and it's Helmers with the kill.
That was another one of those long rallies that had the potential to bring the crowd back into the game, but Notre Dame able to be scrappy throughout that whole rally and just find a way to score.
Pancake terrifically there from Lily Fenton. Louisville out of sorts. It's a joust. Still we go on. Another lengthy rally. Chicoine ends it there. Just yet, but they're still very much in the set. 3 points down. Looking to avoid what would be a 5th consecutive set loss to Louisville, having lost in a sweep on Wednesday night at home, the Irish. And out of the timeout, they find a point through Chichi Naji.
Returning to the floor for Notre Dame, number 18.
And Naji is an offensive weapon. You see, we talked about the Louisville hitters being undersized. The block of Chicoine being only 5'10", Peyton Peterson front row now maybe around that 6 foot mark. but still 6'4" Najee over there taking big swings off the right side is a weapon for the Fighting Irish.
Najee, one of 5 freshmen on this Notre Dame team. Here she is again, and the whistle will give the point to Louisville. Looked like she won the battle initially, but that puts Louisville 3 points away from closing out the second set.
Can we make a pickleball reference? She scored. She did all the right things, but then she was in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yeah.
Is that a pickleball term?
That's a pickleball reference.
You got to school me on the pickleball. I know it's the trendy thing, but I have not picked it up whatsoever.
It was exactly like that, where you get the kill, you get the point, but then you have to hold your balance. You can't cross the line.
I love that. In the kitchen. Right now it's Louisville doing all the cooking, though, in the kitchen of this one. As we take another timeout from Notre Dame, a Louisville program that has made 2 runs to the national title game in recent years, including last season here at home. They're accustomed to winning a couple of those top 10 matchups. They'll have plenty of opportunity left this year, though, notably with Stanford coming to town on Thanksgiving, as you alluded earlier, Steph. There's a block for Notre Dame out of the timeout from Najee. And Bjork also up for it, but it's Najee that got her hands to it.
A block and a little emotion from her, seeing if she can bring a little spunk to her team.
We mentioned these are 2 of the top 4 blocking teams in the league. We've seen a fair few of them so far. There's Kara Cressy. Too hot for Lily Fenton to handle, and that gives Louisville set point.
Returning to the lineup for the Cardinals, number 6, Hannah Kinney, is set point.
And the Kara Cressy contingent loves it, as they do for just about every Louisville home game.
She's fun to watch, and a fun story as this city has watched her develop and grow over her 4 years.
Sitting behind some All-Americans when she joined the program, she's become an All-American herself. Notably Maya Tillman and Anna Stevenson on that list of All-Americans that she had to learn from. Points Notre Dame to keep the set going.
Returning to the lineup for Notre Dame, number 23, Maya Baker, and number 7, Lucy Trump. And it's Baker to serve, and it's set point.
Cabello ends the second set. Cressy 467 and Chicoine 414 on the night, so a tick better than the way they were able to perform on Wednesday in South Bend. And Notre Dame looking for an answer, looking to take a set, as you mentioned, Steph. They were able to take a couple of sets off of Pitt a few weeks back. Took the Panthers to 5. The closest that Notre Dame has come to a marquee top 25 upset.
And you see them start here right away with Gardy in the front row.
Chicoine is denied by Anna Bjork.
Returning to the floor for the Fighting Irish.
And Bjork just drops this inside hand as Chicoine goes for the cross-court shot.
Bjork now with a pair of blocks to go along with that pair of aces that she was able to put on display earlier in the match. Calissa Blackshear continues to be a steady presence for Louisville. Speaking of that offensive efficiency, she's having a terrifically efficient night. 462, 7 for 13 with 1 error.
And we mentioned it when it happened, but I just absolutely love her coming in and getting a chance to be a back row weapon too. I think it's going to be fun to watch her grow over the next 3 or 4 years as she's only a freshman here.
Well, you walked right into the question I was going to ask you. What's the ceiling for Calissa Blackshear? Because is it fair for you to say, I mentioned it earlier, she's putting together an ACC Freshman of the Year kind of season, wouldn't you say?
For sure, and only playing 3 rotations. Like typically you'll see an outside hitter or a setter really pick up that honor because they play 6 rotations. They have a lot more dynamic stats, but her hitting percentage and her blocking just by itself is able to carry the load for her.
Blackshear coming in with over 200 kills. She's added a few to it tonight, averaging nearly 3 kills per set. And defensively, a big impact as well, with close to 80 blocks on the season. coming in with 78. She's got 3 to her name tonight. Here she is. Sherman couldn't quite time her jump perfectly on that opportunity on the overpass. Here's Peterson. Blackshear.
Great hustle from Evans.
And Sherman. I think that went into the net. If it didn't go into the net, it's a block for Langer.
And
regardless, it's a point for Notre Dame.
Yeah, good emotional rally here, too, from Notre Dame. Louisville's had a couple of errors, but during the rally, Notre Dame earned those points with the hustle play from Evans, and you don't want to see a lead, a run like that end in an error from your team on that missed serve from Baker.
8th missed serve for Notre Dame. An area where they needed to be aggressive to keep Louisville on their heels, but that aggression may be biting them a bit as it's cost them some points.
Baker setting for Notre Dame, bounced back there with a great set to Gardy on the pin.
Gardy's 5th kill, but there's another of those missed serves.
And Notre Dame has to walk that line. They have to serve aggressively. We talked about the importance of Louisville's first contact. The way to hurt Louisville's first contact is to bring them a tougher ball to contact with that first contact. So they have to stay aggressive serving, but they can't do things that shoot their own runs in the foot.
Speaking of aggressive serving, that has been the hallmark of Hannah Kinney's early Louisville career as a true freshman. Another ace for her today. Peterson took a touch. Another point to Louisville. And Peyton Peterson starting to get into the act as well. Her 4th kill. She's got 6 digs defensively, though. Making a contribution.
Point Notre Dame. Returning to the floor for the Fighting Irish, number 31, Anna York, and number 2, Macy Alexander. Alexander to serve.
Sydney Helmers with that kill for Notre Dame. She leads the way with 8. 8 for 21, 3 digs and a block. Playing in her hometown. Kara Cressy off the antenna. And that makes it Steph Cantway.
6-7 for all the teenagers watching.
It's Halloween weekend. We got to give them a treat, right?
It was a popular costume.
Notre Dame getting back in it, trying to extend this match and get something for themselves. And Anna Bjork has made a decent impact on this one so far from the middle for the Irish.
And more of her impact has come blocking, but on that, it's not maybe an impressive swing, but it's just about timing, being up at the right time and able to swing. Notre Dame with the lead here, 8-7 as we go to break.
Now in the 3rd set, Notre Dame ahead 8-7. Make it 9-7.
And another tough serve from Notre Dame. We see Notre Dame using 2 liberos, Macy Alexander coming in to serve, Maya Evans taking more of the duties defensively in serve receive.
5th ace for Notre Dame. The payoff to that aggressive mentality from behind the service line. Kara Cressy gets it back for Louisville. Her 5th tonight. She's got 5 blocks as well. A very typical Kara Cressy stat line in both of those categories.
And Notre Dame has made an adjustment. We've referenced many times that this is the 6th that these teams have played against each other in just a few days. And Notre Dame has made an adjustment to how they're defending the slide, and they've made Cressy work for her kills tonight.
Salima Rockwell playing the chess match. Ava Utterback there for Louisville with that missed serve. Coming into the match for her first action.
Evans there on the dig from Notre Dame.
And Chicoine there on the kill for Louisville. That dig from Evans went high into the air, drew some oohs and ahs from the crowd. But it did set up Louisville with this opportunity. Cabello to Chicoine. And it went off the hands of Bjork.
And we see Notre Dame make an adjustment. Instead of Baker blocking Chicoine now, Fenton's in the game, and Najee will be the block that Chicoine has to face.
Helmers with that swing that hit the official on the backside. That is officially out of play. And Molly Urban will have the opportunity to serve once again. Junior from Martinsville, Indiana. Cabello. Chicoine. Najee. Certainly was. And Najee continues to make a strong contribution, atoning for that performance on Wednesday night that she's certainly capable of better than. She's got 5 kills now, 6 as a matter of fact on that one, hitting .455, 6 for 11 with an error and 2 blocks.
And she's done a good job making smart choices. That was the high hands touch.
Out of Dallas, Texas, Ursuline Academy in Dallas.
And Louisville, we talked about the chess mats. Louisville making some adjustments back. That's typically a play where Sherman's front row with Cabello, and she would have run a slide. But as Notre Dame's focused on the defense of the slide, Louisville has adjusted to running middles in front of the setter.
Chicoine. Fenton able to get it over. Blackshear. It was touched. And Louisville has taken a 12-11 lead in the third set.
And we talked about Blackshear's growth and her being a freshman. That kill, even she was a little off balance. It's going to be fun as she kind of grows into her body and grows into her connection with Cabello and is really getting those balls in her wheelhouse and in her power, how much she's going to develop.
Yeah, we've talked about Blackshear's upside. It's easy to forget that Nayelise Cabello is only a sophomore as the setter, so those two could be combining time and time and time again for years to come for Louisville, at least a couple more years to come. Though nothing is a sure thing in this era of college athletics. Chicoine into double figures now, past double figures. That's her 11th kill.
And Chicoine again showing us another shot. She went up there in the seam and then only moved the ball with her wrist instead of going crossbody or outside her body.
That one misses from Najee. Notre Dame still hitting sub 100 for the afternoon. Louisville at 308 hitting percentage.
Najee with another smart shot there, goes off the block and is able to score on the right side.
As you see it here, off the hand there of Ava Utterback, the redshirt freshman for Louisville, who has played a decent amount this year. Blackshear denied on a block. Gardy went up for it.
Gardy and Langer both there with a closed block for solid hands. Langer may be coming in a little bit late, but Gardy got it.
Gardy may not be having the kind of kill night that she typically does, just 5. And if she fails to get to 10, that would be the first time this season she hasn't hit double digits, but she's still making an impact on this match for Notre Dame. Whistle goes against Louisville. And it's another Notre Dame point as they continue to teeter back and forth in the lead in this third set.
It was a net violation on the block.
Blackshear, a big windup, but met capably by Langer.
Huge single block there from Langer. She was patient, and then she dove into that cross court. You'll watch her right hand just really drop, and then her left hand was able to get the block.
Notre Dame on a 4-0 run. Looking to take something off number 8 on the road. Blackshear. And that one falls.
And the angle that Blackshear swings with, again, that ball's a little bit outside of her body, just a different look for the defense, and from such a high contact point that creates different angles on the court that are tough to defend.
There's Trump. Schrand diving with that dig for Louisville. Gardy gets a kill.
Gardy's had success off the right side tonight multiple times.
I'm sure it's not something she'll care much about as a competitor, but that statistic of her hitting 10 or more kills every match this season, dangerously close to ending. As she misses with that topspin serve. That's what the fans will care about a little bit more than she does, I would imagine. Certainly the SIDs and announcers among us care more about it than she probably does. Her success, though, has been evident all year long.
Well, and part of that's credit to Notre Dame has taken Pitt to 5, has taken UNC to 5. They've played some really tough, long, grueling matches where she's been a big part of it.
There's Langer again with the point for Notre Dame. Hannah Kinney just doing everything she can to keep that ball alive, and it gave Langer the easy opportunity to throw that one down. And Notre Dame ahead by 2 in the third set. Getting later and later. Kara Cressy, Louisville claiming that there was a touch there, and it looks like Dan Meskey is going to reach for that green card for the 3rd time today. He will. To be fair to him, every one of his players on the floor immediately reacted when that call went against them. And sometimes, as a head coach, I would imagine
Louisville's challenging the touch on the play.
that's all you need is the reaction from your players to go to that green card and challenge. And he's been successful twice so far today, so why not?
Exactly. It can be tough when you're deep in the 4th set of a close match and you don't want to lose a challenge, but here I would definitely trust my players. And Cressy's goal here is to get hands and have that ball finish to the right and out of bounds. That's the play. When she had to tip, her goal was to go off the block.
This is one where the conversation is about a change of trajectory in the ball. Is there enough to see that it definitively did change direction?
And so tough.
Where it looked like they were going to be able to extend the match, and Louisville finished them off in the late stages of that 3rd set to claim a sweep. Can the Cardinals do the same 4 days later, this time at home? And Nialise Cabello thinks yes with that kill, pulling the Cardinals to within 1.
A really good play here. Hannah Kinney called off the libero so that she could use her hands and give that ball to Cabello, because if Camden Schran had used her hands and brought that ball to Cabello inside the 10-foot line, Cabello can't score off of the libero using their hands in front of the 10-foot line. So what a high volleyball IQ play there from Louisville and Hannah Kinney. It would take like 2 replays and a whiteboard for me to fully explain that, but my volleyball nerds watching are totally with me on that one.
I just heard that they're going to put in for a telestrator so that you can have that opportunity next season.
I'm so ready.
It's on Lee Cook's bill, the telestrator, our producer tonight. Point to Louisville. Cards pull to within 2, rather to within 1, 20-19. And this 3rd set very much in the balance. Can Notre Dame take one off of a top 10 team again and extend this match and maybe hope to improbably reverse sweep Louisville, or will the Cardinals finish off a 2nd consecutive sweep of the Irish? Molly Urban with an ace, and the reaction from the crowd and her teammates is all you need to know about that. Urban seldom used in her career, but an impact there. There's Gardy with the swing for Notre Dame, just misses by maybe an inch, and now we're going to get a challenge from the Irish. If it wasn't the card, it was the C with the hand to let you know what she was planning to do.
That's been the new improv this
Notre
year.
Dame is challenging that block touch.
I like that Coach Rockwell went with both of them. She was able to get the card off the counter, but also pull up the C. I like the play call here, going to Gardy out of the back row. She hasn't had a lot of swings out of the back row, but Louisville only able to get a single block up.
After review, there was a touch on number 11. Notre Dame's point, they retain their challenge.
A very quick review from Bill Thornburg, accurately so. You saw that finger of Hannah Sherman just bend back ever so slightly, but clear evidence.
Yeah, most touches, I feel like, whether they're overturned or they stand, I'm a little iffy on them. That one was pretty clear.
And for anybody that watched that Wednesday night game, where there was a 20-minute delay in the second set, that was incredibly efficient from Thornburg to see that one time and know confidently that the call needed to be flipped.
He understands his assignment tonight. And if you just jinxed them.
I might have. That is a new version of the curse, the commentator's curse. Normally it's about players on the floor talking about a stat that they're particularly good in, and then they'll make a mistake. Well, maybe this one's on the officials. My fault, everyone.
I think the issue is right here. We have to reverse that point
Yeah.
because it was called Louisville's point, then to Notre Dame's point. So that takes some administrative work in the scorebook. And there was a sub at the same time. So
Kaylee Dockery, the player that comes into the match here for Notre Dame to serve, as the officials continue to sort it out. And we've talked about the crowd being maybe a little down today on a Saturday afternoon, a delay for officials to get the paperwork sorted. Doesn't do anything to help that.
however, because of that delay, hopefully we avoided the future delay post-challenge that we had Wednesday at Notre Dame.
And maybe that delay served to ice the kicker, so to speak, as Dockery misses the serve into the net, and it's tied at 21. And those service errors tallying higher and higher for Notre Dame. Anybody set right here, though? Najee, Sherman, Gardy, and Chicoine.
That was quite a lineup of your call. Najee, Sherman, Gardy, and then Chicoine finishes. It's kind of been the story of the match tonight.
A game-high 13th kill for Chloe Chicoine. Gardy gets one back, inching closer to double digits. That's number 8 for her, tied for the team high.
And Gardy's such an interesting hitter. She might be better and more efficient on an out-of-system ball even than on a perfect ball.
Here's Chicoine. And again. This time successfully. Louisville 2 points away.
And Chicoine here knows she has a big double block in front of her with Najee and Langer and goes high hands to that deepest corner. The longest angle across the court is one of the diagonals, and she picked it.
That they're right here, just a point down and 3 points away. All-star for the Vegas Thrill just a few months ago, back in February when she made the All-Star team. Having a terrific professional career on the heels of what was a sensational college career. And Louisville a point away from taking a sweep in front of their former superstar. But Notre Dame's going to take their second successive time. And PK of recent years for Louisville. Here we go. Match point for the Cardinals if they can finish it here. Notre Dame trying to keep it alive, and they do, although, do we see another Meskey challenge here?
I would say no, because I saw 3 out of the 4 officials signal. So typically that's a sign that you're alone in your hope that there was no touch.
Still match point for Louisville. It's Peyton Peterson, and a block for Notre Dame will keep this one going.
A little more energy from the Notre Dame bench now.
And that's going to force Dan Meskey into a Louisville timeout as Lucy Trump got that block.
And Lucy Trump, a player that's been in and out throughout this match, but as she's come in, they have not hesitated to set her and use her in the big moments. That one wasn't necessarily her choice, but what a way to step up coming back into this looking for right now.
Baker serves. Louisville goes to Peyton Peterson. Notre Dame goes to Gardy. Peterson again. Blackshear the reaction. Peterson once more. Was it touched? It was. And it's a point to Louisville.
Now, only one line judge called this touch, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had a challenge.
She's thinking about it.
She's standing close.
She's got her fingers on the card.
And walking away.
So it's match point for Louisville. You did a great job of selling that drama stuff right there. Trump. Blackshear to not quite finish it off. A great dig for Notre Dame. She'll have another chance. Chicoine gets there. Louisville just unable to keep the ball alive. And Notre Dame ties it at 25.
Gardy with another kill from that right side and then headed back to serve. She has not had a great serving night, but this is a moment that you want one of your top servers, super aggressive, to just go for it.
And for Gardy, that was that elusive 10th kill. Every match this year, she's had 10 or more. There's Chicoine, as a matter of fact.
Peterson on the kill. Chicoine nailed the first contact, though, and made Cabello an option so that she could have gone to Blackshear, could have used Cressy in the middle. Peterson able to just knock the ball straight down with a tip.
Thanks for picking me up there.
Chicoine was a very important part of that,
well,
just the wrong part.
I was wrong for different reasons. I saw Peterson and then looked back and it was Chicoine.
She was celebrating her first contact.
Match point for Louisville. Hannah Kenny serves. Peterson. Strand. Peterson again. That time a little more power. Chance here for Notre Dame. They go to Helmers, and that's it. Louisville wins in a sweep over Notre Dame again for the second time in a week.